Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and people who cannot decide whether it is mayonnaise or mayonnaise.
Hi-ho! Hi-ho!
It is Monday, December 9th. I am starting week 2 of this journey. Yay me! Trying to stay positive. Did not want to get out of bed this morning. So, this past weekend, day and 2 ago, took a road trip out to Tulsa, Oklahoma. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. We actually went to Muskogee, Oklahoma. They have a castle out there. It's called the Castle of Muskogee. Google it. They have a big deal. Every weekend in May, they have a Renaissance fair out there. It's pretty neat. I mean, it's not a Knight's Tale or nothing, but it's pretty cool. Then they also do it up for Halloween and also for Christmas. Went out there. I mean, they would put all these inflatables, Christmas inflatables and lights, and inside they have booths and things like that. They sell toys and decorations, things of that nature. Anyway, inside the castle they have a I guess bar, restaurant, more bar than restaurant, to be honest. And they have two. You can go up to the bar, or they have basically a window. And I saw they had, you could buy beer, you could buy a cappuccino, you could buy other things. So I asked the wife, it was kind of chilly. I said, hey, you want a cappuccino? She said, sure. So I walk up there about this time, this young guy, probably in his late 20s maybe, come up there beside me. You can tell that wasn't his first trip to the bar. He walks up, come on, I'll do a shot with you. Okay. I said, lady walks up, I said, I just need a cappuccino. She said, what kind? We have white chocolate or we have French vanilla. I said, give me one of each, I figured. And the drunk guy, you could tell he was kind of taken aback. You tell he wanted to say, I don't want no coffee. I told him, I said, I'll get one for my wife, let her choose which one she wants, I'll take the other one. He's like, okay, all right, I'm not mad at you. And he kind of wandered off. We talked for a minute about him being there, everything, been there all day. And he wandered off. So obviously he was expecting, when he said he'll have a shot with me, he was expecting me to buy the shots. That was his plan. I hate to think how many times. And he wandered off. I saw he wandered around to the other side to the bar. Basically just trying to find somebody else to buy him some booze. Twerk gonna be me. Ye old beggar. But anyway, went out there. They had a little train that goes through the village, I guess. Where you can go through and see all the lights and all that stuff. We rode that. It's kind of neat. It's a neat little trip, but it didn't start till dark, and we got there still daylight, so we drove on up the road to Tulsa, did a little shopping. Man, there's a store up there called Euromart, and it's funny is the whole point is they have groceries, including meats and cheeses and things like that, and a lot of packaged groceries from, they say, Europe. That's the whole point, Euromart. And they do have a very few things from Western Europe, England, like one thing from France, a couple of things from Ireland, things like that. But like probably 90% of the store is very, very Eastern Europe. Russia, these little countries that used to be part of Russia. So you get a lot of those. We end up getting some we call them cookies, biscuits, whatever they're. Some kind of root beer from some country that I don't even have a clue about. A couple deals, different types of candy, things like that. But I did get an Iron Brew from Scotland, which is cool because there's a couple different Scottish channels I watch, and the way they kind of sell it, that stuff's it's like their water over there. Well, they're non-alcoholic water over there. And I always wanted to try one, but you can buy them like 6-packs off Amazon, but I have a hard time spending like $4 for basically a soft drink. But they had them there, so I got one. It actually tasted like liquid metal. It was actually pretty good, but it was stark. I'll give it that, man. It wasn't smooth. Let's see. The iron. We ran around Tulsa. We looked at a couple different things. Went to a Harley Davidson shop. Now, I am not a Harley Davidson fan. I actually got time, get to all these holidays, break the bike out, and do some actual motor vlogging on it. One of the bikes, Honda, Suzuki, both. My problem with the Harley Davidson is they're a clothing company that sells motorcycles. They back in 80s, even the 90s, really they were trying to sell, as outlaw bikes, even still back then, and so they wanted them to be greasy and kind of dirty, and you go into a brand new shop, oil sitting on the floor under a brand new one, but that's not the day anymore. They're now motorcycles. But the problem is they're still relying on a name that really, it's a brand. It's their motorcycles are no better than any other. Usually, honestly, quite a little bit on the worst side. But 3 times as much. I mean, I grew up. Well, my first real bike that I rode was when I turned like 13. I had they just made the law where you could ride a motorcycle on the street without a license up into 250cc. So I had a Kawasaki 250. Kawasaki LTD 250. It was about a 1984, 83, something like that. But 2 friends of mine, we all rode together, and they both had 250 Hondas. And I liked the Honda. It just seemed like, I don't know, it just a little bit better quality. Everything seemed tighter. Everything seemed like, I don't know, they seemed a little better. They really did. But, and I always wanted a Honda. I went from there to, I had a good friend, another friend that he was 16, so he had a 750 Honda Shadow. So everybody I knew had Hondas, and like I said, they were just a little bit better than my Kawasaki. So I always wanted one. I always thought they was better quality. So when I go buy a big boy bike, at the time, the Ninjas and the Hondas had, they'd gone through the Interceptors and the Hurricanes and things like that. And I can't remember if they'd moved over to the CBRs or not, but anyway, the Honda sports bike, and the difference between them was just, the prices was just staggering. Honda, say a $10,000 bike, Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki were all $10,000. Hondas were $14,000. And okay, well, so I had a Suzuki and loved it. Still always wanted a Honda. Just thought, I don't know, by then I'd had it in my head whether it's true or not. So Suzuki 4-wheeler, Several over the years. I finally got around to getting another one years later, and I was back to the same thing. Yeah, the Hondas, but the price difference just ain't worth it. I mean, I don't know. They still feel a little tighter, just a little bit better quality, but just not justifiable on the price. How'd it come up? Oh yeah, I'll finish my rant in just 1 second. Now, where Harleys differ from Hondas, the price is even more for the equivalent of the same bike, but the quality ain't near as high. Again, back in the 80s and even the 90s, they were just crap. But nowadays there's not enough big enough difference for that price. I mean, I went into a Harley dealership out there in Tulsa, and probably 60%, 70% of that showroom, of every Harley showroom, is trying to sell you clothes or gifts or add-ons to their bike. It's not about selling motorcycles, it's about selling everything else. So it's kind of I have an issue with it. They're just too overpriced for what they are. Now, the people who ride Harleys, when I go tell my wife, oh yeah, I'm gonna go ride my bike. Everybody else, yeah, I rode my motorcycle today. Hey, you wanna go motorcycle riding? Hey, you wanna go ride? But it's, hey, I'm gonna go ride my Harley. Yeah, I brought my Harley today. No other vehicle do you do that. You don't say, yeah, I drove my Chevy today. Hey, look at that, I brought the F-150 today. No, it's always my Harley. They want you to know. It's like vegan. How do you know somebody's a vegan? Don't worry, they'll tell you. How do you know somebody rides a Harley? Don't worry, they'll mention it a lot. Plus the fact they'll be head to toe in Harley. Oh, and apparently colorblind people are Harley Davidson bread and butter. They try to make things monochrome, black. Apparently every cow that gets turned into leather can only be black cows. And seriously, they make other colored people. So, and if you got a Harley, more power to you. It just ain't my thing. I don't need that lifestyle. I don't need to flex. It's a Harley. And the bad part is Harley, really, it's funny, is their model, their advertisement, really everybody wants one of their old bikes. You're kind of thought of less in the Harley world for owning a brand new one. Look at the dentist out there trying to play biker, got him a new bike. And the problem is he's out there with 5 other guys in their $40,000 basically gold wings riding around together. Well, that's just prejudice. Hey, if you drive one and you like it, that's all that matters. Or, if it makes you happy, you do you. It's just a personal thing. I don't feel the need to constantly remind people I have a Harley. I don't feel the need to overpay that much for a bike that is not worth that much more than every other bike. But I will tell you, somebody gave me one, or I got one at a good price, I'd take it. I just don't feel the need to slap, a Harley logo on everything I own. Oh, so yeah, we went out to a Harley shop. The reason why is I gotta sneeze. Bless me. Thank you. So, oldest granddaughter, she is 11. That sound right? Yeah. We went out I took her to Georgia, to Atlanta, Georgia, back in August. And while we were out there, every time I try to go a distance, my grandson, oldest grandson, his drum instructor, he drives a Harley. He She has the Harley hat, Harley jacket. He's got a big picture of Harley in the drum room. You know. But anyway, he collects, or he has a couple of the little pins. Most Harley shops have pins that you put on clothing, and they each have individuals, you know, for their logo, their location. So I started getting those for him when I go to these places, the different places. So I'll get them for him. And while we were out there, we stopped at a Harley shop, and this one in particular, it had half a pin. Well, it was a pin that it wasn't jigsaw, but basically it's think of a shield where it was cut in half. And you buy another one across town and they match together. There's a couple of them do that. I've ran into a couple of them that do that. So I got one of them. Granddaughter, we gotta go get the other one. She's just fascinated with this pin. So now I always go, anytime I go, I get her one. So we went out to Memphis a couple of weeks ago, went out to Tulsa. Going to get her filled in. There's a lot of them around town. I got to go get her. So I may do that this coming weekend. See about scraping some more of those up. Little stocking stuffer for her. But anyway, so I went out there, got her that. And they have some really cool ones. The one out in Memphis, there's probably a couple different little shops out in Memphis. But the one I went to was shaped like a little guitar. They have one in Sturgis. I went through Sturgis years ago. Of course, this was long before she was born. Looking back now, if I'd have known, man, that would have been I guess that would be the Mecca. And they had one place down in El Paso. I think it advertised it as the world's largest Harley Davidson dealership. See, if I'd have just thought ahead. So it was kind of my weekend, basically Tulsa, cruising around there. Did a little Christmas shopping. We ended up buying a couple of things for people. Went to the Bass Pro Shop out in Broken Arrow. My son wants a rifle, a hunting rifle out there, and he's wanted it for a while. What he doesn't know, I bought it for him 3 or 4 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. His mom don't even know what I got him. So Christmas, now I give a weapon. Welcome to America. What can I say? I'm trying to think. Is that about it? I think that is about it for the weekend. Back to work. See how many more meetings I got. My weekend guy is, I think, going to be my trouble guy. He literally, he was discussed in my initial interview. Everybody I met has said, "Hey, have you met so and so? Where have you done?" So I mean, he's an issue. So he called me, talked on the phone there while I was at work last week. I believe I actually mentioned this in another one. And haven't met him yet. I'm going to pop up probably next weekend while he's working and see what's what. Just kind of an impromptu meeting with the guy. There's a couple of them I can see. I ain't sure going to be around long, to be honest. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Alright, I'm going to wrap it up. A couple of reasons. One, be stunned if anybody's still listening to this point. But again, this whole thing's just for me to chit-chat with myself, because I'm alone. So alone. And another reason is I started a new TV show on Hulu. Are they still called TV shows if they're not on TV? That's an interesting thought. Are they? Because I've always just grown up calling them TV shows. But this one started out on, I think, Funny or Die. Then they moved to Hulu. I don't know if it's actually ever been on a TV channel. But it's called, first of all, I was watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I think I've got caught up to it. But now I found one, Brockmire, with Hank Azaria, and apparently the first season has Amanda Peet, but I guess she drops off. He moves or something in the second season. I don't know, but those two are in it. And yeah, it definitely ain't appropriate for children, but it's pretty funny. Why'd I bring it up? Because it's got the tablet here. And since most of it's dialogue driven, I can actually play it while I drive. I don't have to watch the screen. I mean, it's really not much different than a radio drama, because I'm just following the dialogue. I ain't got to justify myself to you, but I'm going to. I'm that type of dude. I got a pile of shirts here beside me. I got to mail off today. I make t-shirts, and boy, this time of year is crazy busy. Thank you, online sales. Anyway, so that's a couple of the reasons I'm signing off. There's I know I'd say that, and I just got sidetracked. It's like a squirrel. There's one of those side-by-sides, razors, whatever they're called. Basically, it's a little mini car that people do off-roading in. Those are neat. I mean, I understand that the evolution of the ATVs, four-wheelers, whatever you call them, they're the next thing. They're kind of neat. But weirdly enough, I have known two people that got severely injured with them. One of them, a little girl that was probably, she's probably not 11, 10, get that old, 9. Her and a little boy got one, took it out riding. Way too young parents. I don't know how old the boy was, but I think he's about the same age. How they got the keys, and that's just bad parenting. But they roll it over. The girl gets trapped under it with gasoline dripping on her the whole time, or pouring on her. The little boy can't get off. He has to walk, I think it was something like 4 miles back to the house to get help. And the little girl ended up having all kinds of chemical burns from the gasoline being on her. She's okay, but that was an ordeal. I can't imagine how long it took sitting there covered in gas, how horrible that would be. The other people I know was a 20-something girl. Her and a bunch of friends are out. They come across one of them that's wrecked. And apparently it just wrecked. One of the boys, I can't remember if he was trapped under it or not, but no pulse, no breathing. She had to perform CPR on him. Ended up getting him back. So, I know can't you say, well, those things are dangerous. Those things all could have happened, on foot, honestly. They could have fallen off a cliff while hiking, all these things. Now it's more dangerous than walking, but I'm saying accidents happen. So, but they are pretty neat. Pricier than I want to spend just to go out and play in the woods every once in a while. But who am I to judge? I got a $6,000 four-wheeler. So, all right, I promise I'm signing off this time. Am I? Yeah, I think I will. All right. Until next time. Man, I still got to come up with the closing line. Let's see. Hi-ho, hi-ho, I'm out. That sucks. I'll keep working on it. Later.
Hey, Peter Parker.